Hi, welcome to the garden again. And today we're going to look at uh, some crystals that you need to handle with care. There are crystals that have things to tag along with them because they're in the ground. They have a lot of other minerals around them. And there's actually, I have a list, and I will, if you link below, send me an email, I'll send you the list because it's quite long and I'm not going to read all of it. But there's been a fad or a thing that happened, and it's still out there, and you can still find sites about it. And it's crystal elixirs. And there's also been people who suggest putting crystals in the bathtub with you to draw essences of the vibration of the crystal through the water and around you. And that's a lovely idea, except that some of the crystals that people commonly get actually have a lot of trace minerals in them, and they can make you sick. I mean, you'd have to like grind it up and eat a lot of it. But you should know when you're handling crystals, like this is a beautiful little piece of black tourmaline. You see how it kind of has the vertical sides up it. And it's a wonderful grounding stone. If you're to make a little group of stones and you wanted something to ground you, this is a stone I put in grids for grounding quite a bit. But black tourmaline contains aluminum, and that's probably not something you want to have like a whole lot around you. And it's not just dark crystals that have this problem. Celestite contains strontium, which I think is sometimes it's a gas. I'm not sure. But these are all things that are listed as not great to ingest, or you could soak it in through your skin. That's the idea about Epsom salts, is you soak the relaxation through your skin. Another stone that I have done, I've got a collection that wants to show you, is fluorite, which is one of my favorites. A little cute little eight-sided octahedron. That's it in its purest form. That's how it comes out of the ground. But unfortunately, fluorite also has, guess what? Fluorine, since it's fluorite. And actually, these stones, if you put them under black light when they first come out of the ground and they haven't been exposed to much sunlight, they glow in the dark. They're really cool. But they're not a cool thing to be putting in your drinking water or taking a bath with. Okay, the next one I'm going to go to, and there's 89 crystals on here. I'm not going to go through all 89. I'm just going to try to go through ones I could show you samples of. Lapis lazuli, and this is a very light lapis. They're very, very dark ones too that have little flecks. And what's inside the lapis lazuli is pyrite. And what's in the pyrite is sulfur. So it's kind of a secondary connection, but it's just not the healthiest thing to be sitting around with. And lepidolite, which is a wonderful, it's a purpley blue kind of stone. This is, yeah, you can see a bit of the purple in it. The lepidolite has aluminum in it also. And that, it's just, this is a word of warning. Then you get to malachite, and malachite, actually a lot of the blue stones that you see, they're this kind of blue, they have copper in them. Just this sort of looks like a corroded penny. And that's one of the words of warning about blue stones. And the thing, this is another one. This is a little piece of turquoise. And what happens with those is they kind of look good. And this is kind of a word of warning. Oh, my camera just went really fuzzy. Okay, there I'm back. It's kind of a word of warning because some of these things, especially if you have small children, this is a reason to not let them out. Because small kids, they stick everything in their mouth. And this is kind of a word of warning about that too. They also have pink tourmaline. This is tourmaline. It's just like the black guy. That little rod there is made out of basically the same molecular structure as the other, but black has different minerals in it and the pink has different minerals in it. And it's just, you know, a pretty little thing to carry around. Selenite, which I have 2 samples of selenite. I have this big chunky chunk one that you can kind of see how it is. And then there's polished selenite, which this is an orange selenite. Selenite comes in a lot of different colors. This polished one's probably not as bad, but the ones that are like this, that you can see sort of the fibers running through it, they say the problem with selenite, like if you put it in your bathtub, first of all, you ruin your selenite because it's gypsum and that corrodes the molecular structure, but it's friable, which means it goes into tiny little shreds. And so you want to not probably put that in your tub either. Then we have, this one's probably not going to get you, but raw tiger's eye. This is a tiger's eye that has every color, the blue, the gray, the brown tiger's eye in it. Being round like that, it's probably not going to do it, but tiger's eye contains asbestos, which is not a good thing. And then I received as a gift from someone, and this is when I first became aware, a friend of mine who did study geology. I was telling her I got this wonderful new crystal, and I've kept it in its envelope that came in. I'm going to take it out because the first thing she said to me, have you touched it? And I was like, no, but it's very pretty. It's called vanadinite, and this can be very, very red or can be very, very brown, but it's incredibly sparkly. It comes from Africa, I believe. Anyway, they say to use it, if you use it in healing, in energy healing, that it will reduce inflammation and fever. And sometimes it's used to contain inflammatory diseases. Well, it also contains aluminum and it can contain arsenic. So probably not the best to be soaking with. And what you would do with it is you'd hold it. And then when we finished kind of communing with getting that energy in your body, then you go wash your hands. And I'll show you why you really want to go wash your hands, because I have some pyrite that's been sitting in the drawer waiting to be put on a grid. And I have 2 pieces of pyrite, one of which is kind of looks like a chunky nugget, and if I really cleaned it up, it would be quite bright. And then I'm going to see if I can get these to do this, because whenever I handle a lot of pyrite, my fingers see the blacky stuff on my fingers? There's more blacky stuff. That's all off the pyrite. And that's one reason why you don't want to, when you deal with crystals, you want to go wash your hands after you've dealt with them, because the pyrite has its sulfur and some other trace minerals. So I'm just saying, I think there are like whole articles and you can go and look for elixirs, but it's not anything. I never understood why you would need to drink it or drink that energy in. People think it does do. I have not, but I'm warning you about having these things around casually, especially the things like malachite that a kid can stick in their mouth that might be tempting looking, or even the fluorites. They'd have to do, I can't imagine they could suck on it long enough to do any real harm. I just want to let you know that it is a danger, and I have a list of 89 different, I think when I culled it through, because some of these I'd never even seen. I think the list is between 70 and 80 crystals. And if you want to see a list of that and see what potentially they may contain, and so you know how to watch out for it, because there's some things in there, like quartz, you know, quartz is quartz and it doesn't usually carry other things out. And here's a nice smoky quartz and a nice shiny piece of amethyst. It's real pretty little amethyst point. A lot of crystals you can put around that aren't going to have that. And so you can put those out where people can touch them or handle them. But just thought I'd give you a heads up. I think it's kind of an odd thing. I've handled crystals for a long time, but usually when I get grub on my fingers, I go wash it right off. And that's one reason why it's good to, of the crystals that can tolerate water, pyrite can tolerate water. You can soak it to get that grubby stuff off the surface. That's just from a new bag of pyrite I haven't used yet. So that's kind of what we're talking about. I've been approached by a couple of people to work with readers on our channel, talk about cards and how energy works. So what I'm looking for is questions, personal questions you might have about cards and readings and whatever. And I'm also looking for one person who would not mind doing a public side-by-side and have me do a reading of them to show some different sorts of styles of reading and styles of cards. So those are shows I want to have out there. I want to create them. So if you're interested in helping with that, make a note of it. Send me an email because it's easier for me to talk to you privately on an email than it is on our public chat line. Although I really enjoy all the comments everyone gives me. They encourage me. They make me want to continue to do this, which I do want to continue to do this. And anyway, this is just about be careful how you handle your crystals. There's several reasons, but this one is to be careful for your own personal health. These crystals have a lot of energy. You can feel it when you're handling them. That's what makes handling them fun. Just make sure you know how to handle them. And to handle them, I'm not a big fan of ingesting crystals. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope it taught you something today. And like I said, if you're interested in doing a personal reading that you don't mind having taped and shown to people, I'd appreciate it. If you want a personal reading that has nothing to do with being on a YouTube show, contact me too, and I'll send you my list on how I handle readings. And I'm still doing grids, still. Not right now, because I have to be able to open my door to air out the vapor fumes. And since I'm in Texas right now, in the freeze, it's not going to get above freezing today. So I'm not opening my door just because there's a danger in doing that too, you know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed presenting it to you. I enjoyed researching it. Like I said, I have a list of the sort of the crystals and what they might contain that could be potentially dangerous. And if you're interested in that, let me know via email and I will send you the list. Have a good day. I hope it's nice and warm where you are and take care. Bye-bye.